Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into something that affects literally millions of people worldwide, yet it's still so fundamentally misunderstood. I'm talking about irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS. Now, if you or maybe someone you know lives with this condition, you already know that the physical reality of the pain and discomfort is intense. It's disruptive, and it is entirely real. It is absolutely not just in your head. But, as we're about to see, the head, and more specifically the brain, plays a critical, central role here. We're going to look closely at the actual science of what happens when the gut-brain axis becomes dysregulated.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to think about this question for a second. Why does normal digestion hurt? For most of us, eating a meal and digesting it is just a background process, right? It happens silently, we don't even think about it. But for those with IBS, this completely routine, everyday bodily function can trigger just excruciating pain. It's a genuine medical mystery that's stumped patients and doctors alike for decades. Why does the exact same digestive process cause absolutely zero issues for one person, but create a world of pain for another?
Section 1. The mystery of IBS. Moving beyond the stomachache.
To really understand what's happening here, we have to look at the wiring. Think about the difference between hardware and software. For the longest time, the medical field was looking for a structural breakage in the gut. They were searching for a tumor, an ulcer, a physical blockage, something visibly broken, kind of like a cracked screen on your smartphone. But with IBS, the hardware is actually totally fine. Instead, the issue is a neurological miscommunication. It's a functional issue. Think of it more like a software bug. The gut has essentially learned to misread its own signals. The organs aren't structurally broken at all. Rather, there's this chaotic glitch in the communication network that runs them. Section 2. The faulty alarm system. When normal signals become threats. Imagine you've got this state-of-the-art home security system, but suddenly it starts blaring the siren just because a single leaf blew across the driveway. Well, the medical term for this phenomenon in your body is visceral hypersensitivity, and this is the primary outcome when the gut-brain axis becomes dysregulated in IBS. It's a state where that beautifully finely tuned communication between the brain and the enteric nervous system, which is basically the brain in your gut, just completely malfunctions. And because of this communication breakdown, the neurons in your gut become massively over-responsive to completely normal stimuli. It's like the volume dial on your internal sensations just gets cranked all the way up to a 10.
And this brilliantly illustrates what we mean. On one side, we have normal function. Ordinary digestive activities are happening. Normal levels of gas, standard pressure, regular movement. For most people, these sensations go entirely unnoticed. But in a dysregulated system, the nervous system actually begins to interpret those exact same ordinary activities as high-threat emergency signals. A dysregulated system misreads a perfectly normal amount of gas or pressure as a massive danger, and it instantly triggers a pain response.
Because the system is locked in the state of visceral hypersensitivity, routine sensations are registered by the body as amplified physical symptoms. We are talking about severe pain, intense cramping, sudden urgency, and profound bloating. And these aren't just random occurrences either, they're coordinated responses. Deep inside your gut, you have these communication hubs known as interneurons, along with sensory neurons, and they are actively coordinating these reactions. But because the system is misreading the data coming in, the responses they create feel entirely chaotic and incredibly painful to the person experiencing them.
Section 3. The two-way street, the constant communication loop.
The gut and the brain absolutely do not exist in isolation. They are communicating constantly. It literally never stops. They use the vagus nerve, which is this massive biological superhighway connecting the brainstem directly down to the abdomen. They use hormones surging through the bloodstream. They use rapid-fire immune signaling. It is a highly dynamic, non-stop physical exchange of information. Every single second of every single day, your brain is updating your gut, and your gut is updating your brain.
And because of this constant two-way street, our psychological states directly dictate physical gut function. Let's walk through it. Step 1. An individual experiences stress, anxiety, or trauma. Step 2. This creates a psychological state of chronic hypervigilance. Basically, the brain is always on high alert for danger. Step 3. Because of that bidirectional communication, this hypervigilance actually travels down the vagus nerve, causing the gut to interpret physical sensations even more intensely. The gut neurons literally fire more aggressively just because the brain is stressed.
I want to read this quote directly from the source material because it is just incredibly profound. Emotional experiences are literally felt as physical discomfort in the digestive tract. Now, why does this matter so much? Because it completely validates the patient experience.
Your anxiety, your stress from a super hard day at work, your lingering emotional trauma, it doesn't just stay isolated in your head. Through the mechanisms of the gut-brain axis, emotional hypervigilance is essentially downloaded into your biology, and it literally becomes physical digestive pain.
Section 4. Rethinking the treatment. Targeting the root cause.
So the crucial point is this. Once you grasp this mechanism, you have this profound aha moment about how to actually help people heal. The old approach was hyper-focused on treating only the digestive organs, right? Hand out a pill to stop a spasm, or maybe a medication to change bowel habits. But that totally ignores the software bug. The new approach, informed by everything we now understand about dysregulation, mandates that we have to treat the whole nervous system. Because the root of the distress lies in the faulty signaling between the two brains, clinical approaches must address both ends of the vagus nerve. You literally have to calm the brain to calm the gut, and you have to soothe the gut to soothe the brain.
We've seen just how incredible and intricate this gut-brain connection really is. It isn't just some digestive tube. It's a deeply complex sensory organ that's constantly engaged in a dialogue with your brain. So, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. If our gut has a mind of its own, equipped with its own nervous system and its own unique way of perceiving the world, what is yours trying to tell you? When it sounds the alarm, is it just food, or is your body's software desperately asking for a system reset? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and remember, keep listening to your body.